Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I've got some breaking news for you. Demetrius Andrade, who's actually disappeared. Don't know where he's gone. He's obviously suffered injury and he's completely disappeared with that injury. I don't know whether he's really badly hurt or where he's at, but I haven't seen Andrade in any doing any media, or I haven't seen him at any event. He's completely disappeared, and he's been ordered by the WBO to face his mandatory Janibek. Now, we all thought that Demetrius Andrade was moving up to 168 pounds, and a lot of people were saying he's ducking Janibek. Andrade was scheduled to fight Zach Parker, where he got injured. Apparently now there is talk that Demetrius Andrade is not going to go to 168. He's going back to 160. He's going to stay at 160, which tells me he's a fighter. His management team are all confused to what to do. They all seem confused to where to direct his career, where he's gonna go. I just feel like he's a confused fighter, confused team. They don't know what to do. The 1 minute they're going up to 168, they schedule a fight, he gets injured, then he goes back down. Then people will obviously question the legitimacy of the injury as well. Now, they did prove it. He did prove it. He did submit documents to show. You got to feel for Zach Parker, because Zach Parker obviously was waiting for that opportunity against Demetrius Andrade. He wanted a big fight, and that obviously was a big name, which would have been a big outing for Demetrius Andrade. And unfortunately, that opportunity is not going to come now. But let me just read out some details to you. So it says here, Demetrius Andrade has been ordered by the WBO to defend his WBO middleweight title against interim 160-pound champion Janibek. The unbeaten former division world champion Andrade and Janibek have 30 days to negotiate a deal before the WBO conducts a purse bid. So within the next 30 days, they're going to have to come to an agreement, reach a deal, or it'll go to purse bid. It's not known if the 34-year Andrade will agree to take the fight with Janibek, though, because it's high risk, low reward type of contest for the Rhode Island native. Now, I don't think he has a choice. Personally, I think if he's going to stay at 160, if he ducks it, it'd make him look so bad and vacates the belt. It'll make Andrade look like a complete coward. But he may vacate it if he's not fit enough. So we don't know his state. So he may use injury as a reason why he was going to vacate the belt. I don't know what his intentions are, but let's put it this way. If Andrade loses the belt, his bargaining power drops. So I don't think there's any gain for him losing that belt. Because if he's going to stay at 160, no one's fighting him even with the belt. Without the belt, he's got no chance. So, in my opinion, it'll be very important for him to keep that belt. So it says it's known that 34 Andrade will... Okay, it's not surprising that Andrade isn't excited about the prospect of getting in with the ring with Janibek. It promises to be a grueling fight. Yeah, Janibek is a really good fighter. Like many fighters, Andrade has hoped for a big fight against Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin, but he's been ignored by both. Canelo even booted Demetrius Andrade out of his post-fight press conference last year, telling him that he was a terrible fighter despite the Mexican star having recently fought Avni Yildirim. Andrade is in the same boat as Janibek, with him too much risk for the popular fighters to want to face him. Even the WBC middleweight champion Jamal Charlo has shown no interest in fighting Andrade, and tells you something because he's fought lesser fighters since winning his 160-pound strap in 2018. If Demetrius Andrade does choose to vacate his WBO 160-pound title, he can always look to fight for the IBF, WBA or WBO belts. The main problem with Andrade giving up his WBO strap is that it could take a long time before he's mandatory challenger to one of the other three belts, because those three champions will never willingly defend against him in a voluntary defense. As I just pointed out, he'll have less bargaining power. The IBF and WBA champion Gennady Golovkin might retire after he faces Canelo in their trilogy in September. If Golovkin doesn't hang up the gloves, he will not choose Andrade for his next fight. The top-ranked promoter Janibek won his interim May 21st against Danny Dingham. Okay, so there you go. That's all that there is in terms of detail about this particular situation. So Demetrius Andrade needs to fight Janibek. I think, firstly, or vacate, because I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that someone like Janibek, who's been waiting for a while, he's been waiting for that opportunity for a pretty long time, and Andrade has been holding him up. This has been going on for a while now. So I think it's only fair for Andrade now to fight him or vacate, so then he can become. And I think this is they've basically, the WBO have ordered this. This was ordered a while back. Then I don't know what happened. Now it's been ordered again. I think this is the last straw, because I think the WBO want to move on. They want somebody to fight for that belt, or fight, or defend that belt, because at the end of the day, Andrade hasn't fought for a long time. When was Andrade's last fight? Was it Jason Quigley? I can't even remember how long ago. It was ages ago. But the point I'm trying to make is Andrade needs to get a move on with his career as well. His career's in limbo. He needs to get a move on. He needs to get fights. And this is a good fight. This is a very good fight. It's a fight which I think a lot of people will be interested in. I think there's a lot of people out there that think that Andrade may get beaten by Janibek. So I think he's got a point to prove as well. I think he's got something to prove in this fight. I think it's an exciting watch. I think both southpaws. I think it's a really good fight. I think it's a very, very good fight. I think it's going to be an exciting. I think it's going to be a cracking fight. I do. I think it could be a fight where, Janibek is pretty dangerous. He's a pretty dangerous fighter, and it would definitely be, without question, his toughest fight to date. It would, without question, be Andrade's toughest fight to date. I think Andrade's resume is something that gets criticized a lot by a lot of people, but this, without question, would be his hardest fight, and a fight that he would get a lot of credit for. Even though people are saying, well, he's not going to get any credit, because people were saying Janibek. No, he will get credit, because without question, this is, everybody recognizes, that knows their boxing, hardcore boxing fans realize how good Janibek is. So if he beats Janibek, he's going to get a lot of credit. What I will say is this: someone asked me, one of my subscribers actually emailed me, and I forgot to do this at the start, but he emailed me about Demetrius Andrade. Dan, if you're watching this video, Dan actually asked me that, obviously Andrade has been ordered to fight Janibek. Is there any way that he can get around that if he fights Charlo, Golovkin? Is there any way he can get around that, because unification fights trump mandatories? Yes, I believe they probably would give an exception, but sometimes a governing body doesn't even give exception for unifications. They may just straight away say, well, no, this guy's been messing this guy around. This guy needs his opportunity. I think it's all at the discretion of the governing body, but generally they do say unification trump mandatories. If there are fighters unifying, then that normally does trump mandatories. In this case, I don't know, because Andrade's been keeping Janibek wait for a long time, so the WBO may become stubborn and might not allow unification. But here's the thing: they may be able to allow an exception if they know that the fight's being made. The problem is, an Andrade Charlo fight isn't going to be made, and an Andrade Golovkin fight is not going to be made, because Golovkin's fighting in September. Andrade only has 30 days to negotiate with Janibek, and a Charlo fight isn't going to happen. Now, we do know that Andrade is potentially a free agent now. He's a free agent, so who knows? Maybe an Andrade Charlo fight could be negotiated. I very much doubt it, and I don't think it's going to be agreed in the next 30 days. I think it depends on what the WBO decide to do, or if an Andrade Charlo fight can reach an agreement. But in this situation, I think Andrade will have to fight Janibek. Unifications do normally trump mandatories, but in this case, I don't know, because the WBO, like I said, Janibek's been waiting for a very long time. WBO may be persistent on Andrade fighting Janibek. So they may not give that exception even for a unification, because sometimes I think at the end of the day, it's all at the discretion of the governing body. But generally, unifications can trump mandatories. I just don't think a unification is going to be realistic with Charlo. So I think Andrade is going to have no choice but to fight Demetrius. He's going to have no choice but to fight Janibek, which is a quality fight, a great fight, and a fight that I think we should all be excited about. Especially I'll be excited because I've wanted to see Andrade in a test. I've wanted to see Andrade in a fight for a pretty long time now. So I will be pretty happy, to be honest with you. I'll be pretty definitely be upbeat about this, because like I said, I've been one of those guys that I think Andrade is a very good fighter. I think he's been very badly managed. I don't think he's got the fights that, you know, he wanted. It's been a very disjointed career. It's been a career which, you know, he's underachieved. You know, we don't know how great he was. He's 2-division world champion, but 2-division world champion don't mean a lot when the level of opposition has been very poor. It's kind of like he's been fighting for vacant belts, fighting against guys that nobody's heard of and winning titles here and there, but that don't mean a lot. A lot of people look at you as a guy that, you won titles, but you've not really fought anybody. You know, we haven't really seen you in a fight. To be honest, I haven't seen Andrade in one good fight. There's not been, ever since I've been watching Andrade, I don't think I've ever seen him in a fight where I'm saying, wow, he may lose this fight. The only time where I got excited about an Andrade fight was when he was going to fight Billy Joe, which again, Billy Joe failed a drugs test, which meant that, you know, Andrade couldn't fight him, which is no fault of Andrade. And maybe it's not a fault of Andrade, maybe it's guys that couldn't get in, but still, it's a failure from your team's part to get you big fights. The only time I've been excited and the only fight that they could make of any kind of level was the Billy Joe. Apart from that, there was no other fight that he ever made that he was such a big favorite in all of the fights. There were one-sided whoopings, really. You know, one-sided fights that he was being involved in. So this would be the first time that, you know, you'd say that Andrade probably has a shot of losing this fight, because Janibek is a very dangerous fight. So I think that's why people will be excited for this fight, because this is the first time you'll see Andrade tested against someone that is considered very good. And if Andrade can come through with flying colors, then his stock and his credibility amongst the boxing fans will definitely rise. So I think it's very important for him to take this fight now. And most importantly, I think he needs to defend his title. I think if he is able to beat Janibek, then I think he should push for a unification fight, because a fight with Charlo would be absolutely massive. And who knows, maybe Charlo would come to the party if he beats Janibek, because maybe Andrade's stock will rise. Maybe the fight becomes a lot bigger. Maybe the money is just too good to turn down, and maybe Charlo will come to the table. But, you know, Charlo hasn't been very welcoming of that fight. You know, he's been pretty reluctant, to say the least. He's not had great things to say about Andrade, and he's always dismissed the fight. So hopefully, you know, we can get that fight, especially if Andrade becomes a free agent. I think it makes that fight a lot more realistic, and it's a great fight. It's a great fight. I think that's what we as boxing fans want to see. We want to see great fights. So yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.